Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash. I want to give double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and salutations of much love. The rest of you sincere Akim, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. This is the Cleric Azar coming at you with another lesson. I'm continuing in my log to bring you my ongoing series from excerpts of Hollywood, This Factory of Perverseness, another observation of predictive programming, and how art imitates life and vice versa. Just a reminder, the purpose of my videos is to show correlations. A correlation is an observation of a mutual relationship or a connection between two or more things. I use movies to extract or extrapolate a narrative. I'm not glorifying the Hollywood culture or life. I have a wide knowledge of films, whether they be foreign or domestic, and I just use them as an example to bring out those similarities and those correlations. To quote Cecil B. DeMille, the greatest source of material for motion pictures is the Bible. I call this lesson, the theme of war has always been on Esau's mind. The image I have on display is from a film I've watched in my past. Of course, being the truth I reflected on this particular series. This movie was released on December 7th, 1984. The title of it is 2010, The Year We Made Contact. Directed by Peter Hyams or Hyams. Don't know how to pronounce his name. I didn't see this in the theater. Eventually, as I got older, I always told myself between 2001 and 2010, I wanted to wait till I got a little older and mature to understand. So this kind of movie, both of these movies, it kind of has to grow on you. But being the truth, you see several things, particularly several themes. Spoiler alert. I'm going to go ahead and play this particular segment of this particular documentary that I helped put together, and then the powers that be, they're the ones who selected the films. I just happen to be one of the financial backers. Okay, let me go ahead and play this particular scene here. Okay, and I'm going to bring out some scriptures.
He has an opportunity to go out to Jupiter and determine what actually happened with the crew of the Discovery. Scheider along...
Oh, let me stop this and I forgot. Let me just also say too, between these two different films, actually specifically 2001, it's one of the greatest sci-fi films ever done. But basically, it's about space exploration. Basically, that basic idea of how aliens have kind of seeded life, and they always had some type of they always either come back to check on that particular life that they started, or they have some type of beacon to let themselves know that the life has kind of got to a certain point. They kind of had this same kind of theme in the movie Prometheus. Remember how in the end, if you haven't seen Prometheus, another spoiler warning, but in Prometheus, remember how in the end the engineer is woken up, and the first thing he does is he gets into the ship to go back to Earth to destroy. All right, this is somewhat similar, just has to do with the creation of life. All right, and not saying that life was created by aliens, but of course it was created by the Most High. But they like to play with these particular things. But in this particular sequel, they like to show how the conflict between the U.S. and Russia will be the end time theme that will bring forth the next level of destruction. Okay, and it's interesting enough, you're going to see how this particular director mentions that in the novel, which preceded the actual movie, it didn't have this particular element in it. So he likes to take credit for the fact that he implemented this particular element of Russia versus America. And of course, we know this is from the Bible, but he wanted to implement that, and he takes credit for it. Most likely, it was probably his producers that told him to do it, but nonetheless, it's in the film. And so I always thought that was a interesting addition. But let me play the scene. You can hear from the horse's mouth. Let me start from again.
He has an opportunity to go out to Jupiter and determine what actually happened with the crew of the Discovery. Scheider, along with John Lithgow and Bob Balaban, hitch a ride aboard a Russian spacecraft captained by Helen Mirren.
What has happened to American bravery?
It's alive and well, thank you very much. What's happened to Russian common sense? This is the height of the Reagan era, and here's a film about Russians and Americans doing a joint venture in space. In Arthur's book, everybody got along famously. I thought it would be interesting to have all hell break loose on Earth.
Hear that? He said he thought it would be interesting to have all hell break loose on earth. Okay, and there's another particular line that goes into this particular scene I want to bring out. Let me go ahead and play this again.
And have it become serious. All American personnel on Earth. And have it. Thank you very much. What's happened to Russia's common sense? This is the height of the Reagan era. And here's a film about Russians and Americans doing a joint venture in space. In Arthur's book, Everybody Got Along, famously, I thought it would be interesting to have all hell break loose on Earth and have it become serious. All American personnel are ordered to leave Soviet territory immediately or they will be placed under arrest. It plays with the...
You see that? All right, and the reason why I want to play out that particular scene, because this has happened just recently in real life with the embassies over there in Russia, with this whole Russia and Ukrainian invasion. You had that notice to have all people in the embassies leave. Okay, and usually when that's occurring, usually either a conflict's about to break out or war's about to break out. Okay.
Book, Everybody Got Along, famously, I thought it would be interesting to have all hell break loose on Earth and have it become serious. All American personnel are ordered to leave Soviet territory immediately or they will be placed under arrest. It plays with the Cold War thing, the early 80s paranoia that we had, but it also takes how it was essentially...
Okay, so that's all. But basically, I'm going to bring out the... and it's the poster. If you haven't seen this, I always find this kind of funny, this old baby thing and the Jupiter in the back. But let me bring out some scriptures, because hey, this whole World War III and the ultimate conflict between Russia and America. Hey, that's in the scriptures. And I'm not going to bring out the actual nations being named, but the actual third war has always been something that has been revealed in the scripture, specifically to John on the island of Patmos, which he actually wrote in the book of Revelations. I'm going to bring out Revelations 9 verse 12, and it reads, "One woe is past, and that woe is the first war, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter." And of course we already had World War II, and now we're about to go into World War III. And yay, you heard Donald Trump just recently mention how we're on the brink of World War III. All right, let's go into Revelation chapter 11 verse 14. "The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly." Okay, so the second war is past, or the second World War is past, and behold, the third war, or the World War III, is coming quickly. Okay, I wish I spoke about this. Okay, and you hear the things going on with Taiwan and China. You hear the things going on with North Korea. You hear the things going on with Israel and Iran and so forth. All right, wars and rumors of wars. Okay, Matthew chapter 24 verse 6. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Okay, so hey, well, when the end shall come? Well, I'm going to bring that out. Let me end it on this, because I always like to end my videos on a good note with some type of silver lining, and there's light at the end of the tunnel. So in other words, there's a happy ending. And you can see with all this talk about all these different camps going out, starting with the elder apostles on down, hey, GMS has the 100% truth. Okay, because I wouldn't have learned half this information. Okay, and but just to answer my previous question, hey, the end is not yet. When the end shall come? Well, that's already been described to us. When you go back to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and you read the 14th verse, it reads as such: "And this gospel of the kingdom," on what particular gospel? Well, gospel means good news. Okay, and this particular gospel of the Hebrew Israelites, specifically the one Westers, or the one specifically under GMS specifically, this particular gospel, once it's preached out in all the world, and how did it preach out into all the world? Through the internet. Okay, all right, and you also know that these pork chopping pastors in these churches we call hollow houses, they're not bringing this information out. Thence, all these things would have come to pass already. All right, so it's very important to understand these particular words and these prophetic words. Okay, Matthew chapter 24 verse 14. Let me read it again. "And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come." You see that? All right, so Matthew chapter 24, verse 6 talks about the wars and rumors of wars, seeing that ye be troubled, all these things must come to pass, but then it's not yet. Skipping down to verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. All right, so that's very important. Okay, so all these, like I said, and starting with the elder apostles on down, this is a different doctrine of what's being preached in these particular churches. Okay, you're not hearing about these things. They don't bring up those particular nations, America and Russia. They don't even have you looking at certain things to understand the signs, or the times of the signs, or the times of the end, or times of the certain seasons. Okay, everyone's is just asleep right now. But hey, it's the ultimate Father, or the Heavenly Father, I should say, that is awakened the elect, or is awakening the elect, so that they can be sealed, so they can be saved during this particular and crucial time. Okay, Lord willing, I'm part of that number. Okay, I just wanted to bring that out. I had the opportunity of meeting two of the astronauts from this particular film. Actually 2001. I know Keir Dullea makes an appearance in this particular film, but he always he told me to make sure you understand that the first one is so much better. But I always liked, as a kid, I always liked derelict spaceships. So in this movie, they visit the same ship that explored Jupiter that was in part 1, and I always liked them. Like that particular part. Okay, I just wanted to share that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who gives me the strength and the spirit to continue to strive and endure in these last days. Shalom to the hopeful elect, and on to the next video.